Did you know there are more than 70 miles of safety paths here in Bloomfield Township? In this first episode of Living in Bloomfield, we'll travel some of those safety paths together, check out a couple special events, and see what's been going on at the Township campus. Enjoy Living in Bloomfield! You may ask yourself, what's the difference between safety paths and sidewalks? Safety paths are intended for three-season use, while sidewalks require shoveling, either by residents or a municipality in the winter. Originally designed to enable children to get to and from school safely by walking, the paths encourage safe, pedestrian-friendly travel to local areas of interest and shopping. We've arrived at the Franklin Cider Mill, located at the southwesternmost corner of Bloomfield Township. Open from Labor Day through the Sunday after Thanksgiving. There's nothing that says fall like cider and donuts. Heading north along Franklin Road, prepare yourself for an uphill ride. While there are safety paths for most of Telegraph, other paths throughout the township are much more scenic. A favorite stop is our beloved library with its award-winning gardens and terrace. It's a good place to stop if you need a rest or a bio break, but we'll continue on to one of our next points of interest on our safety path map, the Frank Lloyd Wright Smith House, located just a half mile from the library. Tours of the home are managed by Cranbrook Center for Collections and Research and run May through November. Now, if you're looking for a short outdoor adventure, you can park your car at the Johnson Nature Center, then head off for a 4.5-mile ride to another township treasure, the Bowers School Farm. I don't know about you, but I love having a destination. Not only can you visit with goats, but ice cream and lunch are available. Bowers Farm recently hosted a special event that celebrated 2 historic homes on the property. Let's hear more from Preservation Bloomfield.
Having the recognition from the colonial dames 17th century today was just really wonderful. We felt really honored to be able to accept their plaque and have that designation for these 2 very important historic structures that tell about Bloomfield's early history.
It's a very long history because it really began in the year 2007 when the city of Bloomfield Hills was celebrating its 75th anniversary. I happened to be the mayor at that time. And one day I was talking to Amy, and Amy said, you know who could really help you? It's Harry Walsh. And he has a vested interest in all the history. You've got to talk to Harry C. Walsh. So he said, I want to show you a gem that is about to be demolished. I said, oh, really? He said, yeah, the oldest existing house in the city of Bloomfield Hills, and they're going to tear it down.
It was in good shape, and we wanted to be able to present to the community a building from the pioneer days back in the 1840s, 1850s.
So we went to see this charming little house. We knocked at the door, somebody was in, and Harry takes me on a tour of the Barton farmhouse. For some reason, and I am not a history buff, for some reason I could almost imagine those pioneers who put those stones in place, and that began my love of the house. I asked Dave Kellett, also a city commissioner, Dave, come and look at this farmhouse and tell me if you think it's worth saving. Well, he's a builder. He knows value. So he came and he looked and he said, you know what? This is an authentic Greek revival house, and there are very few of them left in Michigan, and yes, it is worth saving. So now you see, I'm the mayor, he's a commissioner, and we're going to bring this idea to the city commission. Would you be involved? Would you help? Are you supportive of saving the oldest existing farmhouse in the city of Bloomfield Hills? And that's how it all began.
I think when we first started that we probably had our fingers and toes crossed but weren't sure we were actually going to be successful, and with a huge amount of work from a lot of people and a real outpouring from the community, we were able to get it here.
Preservation Bloomfield was organized to preserve some of the history of the Bloomfield area, and it was organized because of the opportunity to save this farmhouse and in addition, the log cabin.
It is a combination of 4 different groups. It is the City of Bloomfield Hills, the Township, Bloomfield Township, the Bloomfield Historical Society, and the Bloomfield Hills Schools.
We have been about raising the funds and coordinating all the processes for preserving and restoring this house so that it can be used both by the community as well as for educating our students and our community about the history of Bloomfield.
The school district and the township were both pretty generous about allowing us to have whatever they thought we needed to make this a go. And so the cooperation has been incredible, and the relationship with the farm has been more than incredible.
Bauer School Farm here, 93 acres in Bloomfield Township. It's owned by the Bloomfield Schools. Our core mission is teaching and learning, K through 12. So on the site we have the Bowers Academy, which is a small program. We also host courses for Bloomfield Hills High School, veterinary and animal science, and a zoology course.
This is an educational facility. All of our students visit this farm. Our elementary kids come here every year.
When we can partner with living history, with a building where our students can come in, touch it, learn about it, really try to live the experience of someone that would have lived here so long ago, we were happy to be involved.
Some of the teachers who were involved at the time who were goading us on, go for it, go for it. You know you can raise that money, you can save that house. And they said, we need this for our kids. They have to know their history.
The Craig log cabin is the last extant early period log cabin from Bloomfield's history.
I'm more amazed when I'm told the story of the family that lived in the log cabin. They raised 10 children in that one room.
The Benjamin Barton house is very similar. It's a little bit more substantial a house, but because it is Greek revival and early period, it's easy to interpret.
The family that originally had the Benjamins, that originally had the house, had come from New York and had settled here as people were moving west. The house then was sold to the Barton family, and Mary Barton grew up in the house.
Mother always wanted an old house, and Dad always wanted a little property. So it seemed to be just the right thing. I can remember Mother saying, we're going to move into another house, and it's over 100 years old. That was in 1937. So that was exciting. I grew to love it. It was home. Both my parents died in that house. Mother at almost 101 years of age.
We didn't know about the Colonial Dames. They found us, which was also kind of interesting. They are a preservation group that rewards with plaques for historic preservation people who have put together a community project that has both community value and educational value.
We are so pleased that we can have this wonderful partnership and friendship with them, and that they have dignitaries coming from other parts of the country to participate with us today.
We are the colonial dames of the 17th century, and we all are related to individuals who were in the original 13 colonies.
Marking is important because we are preserving our heritage and we're passing this on for future generations.
Well, these buildings were selected because both of them could have been torn down and lost to the community, and they weren't. Because of Bloomfield Schools and Preservation Bloomfield, they thought they were worth saving, and we think they are worth marking.
We are so honored that the colonial dames of the 17th century have chosen to create brass plaques to put on both the farmhouse and the log cabin.
But having it recognized by the colonial dames of the 17th century is an important step in getting an official organization recognizing the efforts that went into doing this work.
I think the preservation of it is unbelievable. My mother would be so excited.
The people walking by that sidewalk, 50 or 60 of them a day, now see that there's a historic marker on it, and they'll get some idea of why it's there. They've been wondering for years why those two buildings were moved here.
It was serendipitous, it was magical for us all to come out, and we like to say that this little house has created community.
It's a vision that people have that make beautiful things happen. This is a forever place.
The way this house was developed here in this spot is nothing short of a miracle.
I call it the House of Friendship because it would have met the dust had it not been a coalition of a lot of wonderful people.
So this is where I spend most of my time, here at the cable station. Across the street, right next to Township Hall, a new drop box for voting was recently installed.
Bloomfield Township voters have a new, secure way of turning in their absentee ballots without having to leave their cars. The recently installed drive-up ballot box is conveniently located at 4200 Telegraph Road on the Township campus near Township Hall and can be accessed via Exeter Street. According to Township Clerk Martin Brook, the ballot box along with 2 security cameras were purchased entirely with funds from the Michigan Department of State's 2022 Election Security Grant. These security measures will help to maintain election integrity.
The security of the drop box ensures that the ballots are protected. Cameras are on the box 24 hours a day, both seeing the front and the back. It's quite revealing as to who is here at any given moment at the drop box.
Clerk Martin Brook and Township Trustee Neil Barnett were the first voters to use the drop box at the unveiling ceremony.
If you're driving up in your car, you can see it easily fits in here to drop into drop box.
And I completed mine also,
it does. Yay.
So I will put that in there.
Great, thank you, Neil.
Okay.
Yay. Thank you, appreciate it.
Voters may still use the drop box in the Township Hall lobby or hand in their absentee ballot directly to the clerk's office. All absentee ballots must be in by 8 p.m. on Election Day.
Right around the corner is our Senior Center, where programming and activities take place Monday through Friday.
This is a place where people love to come and socialize. Everybody really enjoys seeing one another and counts on seeing everybody each day. I came just to check it out as a senior to see what they had available. I fell in love with it so much that I wanted to work here part-time. The instructors, I'm blown away by how knowledgeable they are, how fit they are, and the equipment is top-notch. The pool is fantastic, 88 degrees. People love it for their muscles, for their rheumatoid arthritis.
I am involved in the water program. I can't tell you how important it is.
Basically, the Senior Center I use for walking and exercise. I appreciate the wonderful people that work here.
You have a good staff here.
The staff is very helpful and very friendly. That makes a big difference too.
I had a stroke in 2016, and my doctor said, Roy, you got to lose weight and get in shape. So I lost 60 pounds, and I started my walking program and working out downstairs, 10 different machines, and I still do that 3 times a week.
I participate in the exercise program. Having a facility like this, I think, is just critical to keeping people healthy.
A lot of times with senior citizens, they forget the importance of socializing and other people. And when they see other people in their same age range, they're more apt to go out and to mingle and to socialize. I love luncheons with speakers, and I love lectures more than anything. I love to learn. And also I like the trips that they have, so I can take a bus and go on different excursions.
We have a transport person. His name is Jeff Howes. Right now, Tuesdays and Thursdays, the bus is available to and from the center for free. So you would call the center at our main number and ask for Jeff, and he'll take care of it.
I've been going to the land fitness classes, specifically strength and balance, since 2013. The teachers are so nice. They are so good at what they're doing. Several of us make cards for Meals on Wheels food bags. Those are for people who can't get out and about as much, and they get food delivered.
Meals on Wheels are available to seniors who are pretty much homebound. Right now we have frozen meals to be delivered once a week, or we can do hot meals Monday through Friday.
When I had my heart attack, I realized I wasn't going to be able to cook for myself, so I got involved in the Meals on Wheels program, and I have such a wide variety that I would never have if I was cooking for myself.
This is a fantastic place.
I love the Senior Center. It's so convenient. All these things are here ready for you. The fitness classes are so reasonably priced. All the different types of activities, not just the ones I do, but many other types of activities.
This is a wonderful facility, and I'm glad. I feel very fortunate to have this in my life.
Come and give us a try. We're very open to new people, and it's just a great, great, great place.
Seniors are a very important part of our community in honoring those that are older and the services that are provided for them, make it an exemplary community.
You don't know what you're missing.
Just come on down.
The annual Compassion Walk brings residents together for a walk around campus, garage sale, barbecue, and a little jazz.
So the Compassion Walk has grown over time. We've done this a number of years, but each year we add another element. And today we have the Compassion Walk itself, which is a 5K. And following the Compassion Walk, we have a barbecue done by American House Stone, and they're fabulous. They come here They grill everything on site, and then while people are eating and enjoying their meal, we have a live jazz performance. The Ed Black Jazz Band will be performing here today. On top of it all, and kind of throughout the day, we have this community garage sale, which is quite nice. That was a new element we added a year ago. 2, 1, here we go!
The senior center doesn't get enough funds to try to function, and I think the last I heard we had 50% of the households in Bloomfield that had somebody 50 or older in them. And so it's a critical part to our community, and to help subsidize that, it was determined to try to establish a fundraiser to do that, and the Compassion Walk is one way. We as the Bloomfield Rotary want to support the senior center, and we are volunteering here as a club at the water stations to make sure everybody's taken care of while they're doing their walk. I'm excited that people did show up despite the rain, and I'm happy to be able to service them and give them water, and I'm very, very happy that they come out to support the senior center and understand how important this is to the community.
We've known each other for years, and we have reunited at the senior center here. And I signed up to do the walk to contribute money to the senior center. I found the first 2 laps very challenging, but said I will continue and do the 3rd lap and meet my commitment.
The walk was great. My body can't take the hills, so I only made 2 rounds and not 3. But whatever I do is better than sitting at home watching television. I like the way the money is being contributed to Meals on Wheels and to other things for seniors who can't get out.
The Compassion Walk wouldn't be possible without our sponsors, so we absolutely want to say thank you to American House Stone. And we have an additional sponsor, Pomeroy Senior Living, and they're here with us today to make this event happen. The other group that I would really like to thank is the Bloomfield Hills Rotary Club. Our Bloomfield Township Senior Services team is truly amazing. I absolutely want to share my congratulations for a great event, and of course my gratitude to the staff here at Bloomfield Township Senior Services. We're very happy with how the day has gone, and we're real happy and look forward to planning this event and inviting the community back to the Senior Center again next year.
As a reminder, there is a Safety Path millage renewal and a Senior Center renewal and increase on the ballot this November. Absentee ballots became available on September 29th. If you requested one, it was mailed the first week of October. On Saturday, October 1st, almost 1,300 cars turned out for Household Hazardous Waste Day. Our vendor for the event, ERG Environmental, was so organized that we were able to open a little early to start getting those cars through.
This event is organized with months of planning with 2 different entities. We have GFL Environment and ERG out of Detroit, getting ourselves together in collaboration to help the township of Bloomfield. The positive outcome out of this, we will help residents reduce their carbon footprint. This world is being polluted daily, and by reducing that carbon footprint, we can sustain ourselves.
This event means a lot to have available to me today because I've had a lot of hazardous materials sitting around. I'm a new resident, so I've been trying to figure out how to get rid of it, and today was the day for me to actually bring it in and discard it. And today I dropped off fire extinguishers and paint. My experience going through was very smooth, no problems, no issues, in and out.
Today I dropped off batteries, old oil, some gas. I usually have a lot of gas and oil. I do change my oil in my car, and I have gas left over from my boat motor, and so I have an outlet to put it where it doesn't wreck the economy. I've been using it probably since it started. I've been a member of the township for over 45 years. Well, I think it's nice that people aren't throwing oil and gas out in the regular trash, and it looks like it's pretty hefty here. A lot of people coming through, emptying all the gas and oil and old paint.
This event has a big impact on the community for different reasons. When we are on our route, we usually don't take paint and batteries and things like that. So this event is for people to come, bring paint and things that they can recycle that we might have missed throughout the week and things like that to get us caught up on our routes and things. The materials, after we handle them, they go, get separated into their right categories for everything to go in the right positions of recycling and throwing away. Seeing a lot of residents participate in this event is real good because there's a lot of things that can be recycled and reused and given back out to the company and the environment.
The next event will be the e-waste, paper shredding, medication disposal on Saturday, November 5th from 9 until 2.
If you're living in Bloomfield and you haven't dined at Sylvan Table, it's time to make your reservation.
Housed in a 300-year-old reconstructed and refurbished barn, Chef Christopher Godulka serves farm-to-fork cuisine made from hyper-seasonal ingredients sourced from the backyard farm and local partners. The food is complemented by a creative cocktail program led by bar manager Danny Teed.
We do all of our infusions in-house, so this is going to be a turmeric-infused gin. We do fresh squeezed lime juice in-house, simple syrup, a little bit of orange blossom water, and some fresh orange bitters, and we garnish it with a marigold flower.
On September 10th, Chef took the Sylvan Table experience outside and, inspired by invasive species, helped create a special experience for supporters of the Johnson Nature Center.
The Johnson Nature Center contacted me about doing an event with invasive species. They wanted to do something a little creative that would be a benefit to not only the local community, but Michigan and the food scene in general, and to provide educational experience for everybody who is coming out to not only have food that is flavorful and tasty, but something that people don't realize is readily available around them and affecting the environment. So we have our wild fennel and purslane salad, and that is with a lemon vinaigrette and some fermented raspberry. The raspberry's in there because it's in season, it's local to Michigan. Purslane is a weed that is in everybody's backyard. It's something you can pick yourself and make into a salad. And many people don't realize that bronze fennel is an invasive species. The second station is our pork or wild boar. Wild boar is considered invasive because their numbers can get too big and they are aggressive. But the real invasive in this course is the dandelion green with the farro salad and dandelions. Everybody knows them, everybody hates them, but really the entire plant from root to flower is 100% edible. They do carry a little bitter, peppery flavor. We've tamed that down with apple cider reduction on this course. Third station is our braised short rib with garlic mustard chimichurri and sunchokes. Sunchokes, while not considered invasive, are an aggressive grower. They're a tuber, so if you plant 5 this year, you're going to have 50 next year. But the real aggressive invasive on that is the garlic mustard greens. So fourth station is our lobster mushroom. Mushrooms aren't an invasive, but this is the one course where I got away a little bit from the invasives and focused on something that was a little more local to Michigan for the foraging aspect. Mushrooms in the fall are really prevalent in Michigan, and this mushroom is a perfect example. A lobster mushroom is actually 2 different types of fungus. The original mushroom is not really for a person's consumption. However, a different fungus takes over, and at that point it envelops the original mushroom and turns it this lobstery orange color. And when that does, now the mushroom is edible. We're topping that with a basil pesto and a little cured egg yolk. The fifth station, however, is probably the most prevalent one that we can do something about, and that's the Asian carp. It's not in Michigan yet, but it is in the Mississippi River, and it's being held out of Lake Michigan by a 40-foot dam that's electrified. And if the Asian carp makes Lake Michigan, within a matter of years, they will have taken over Lake Michigan, and that will destroy the aquaculture in that lake. But a lot of people also don't realize that Asian carp is one of the most flavorful fish you can actually have. And then the final course is a little tartlet that we made with Michigan pawpaws, which the pawpaw is Michigan's only tropical fruit. You'll see these on the side of the road everywhere.
I've definitely learned that the weeds that I pull might actually be tasty, because everything we've been eating tonight is invasive. I think
invasive, and it's local in almost every yard, we found out.
So I'm thinking when we're weeding from now on, well, I'll just have you taste test everything
We'll
before we
just
throw
cook
it
it
in the
all
bag.
up.
And if he
Excellent.
doesn't blow up from an infection, we'll cook it. What do you think?
Sounds great.
Thanks for riding along with me today. If you have an idea for the show, give us a call or shoot us an email.
Temporary signs may not be put up in the right-of-way and only on private property. Signs do not belong between the sidewalk and the road. Signs do not belong between a ditch and the road. A good guideline is 15 feet from the center of the road. If you see a sign in violation, please do not take it down yourself, but report it to the Ordinance Division, who will remove it.